Hi Shogi fans, it's Hidej. I wanted to make another video of a Shogi game, and this time I think I'm gonna start presenting some recent professional games because I think I've already made videos so far of most of the really famous old games that I can think of. So I thought I'd rather start showing you some recent ones that are more subject to the newest theories and josekis. Well, the name of the playlist, Famous Shogi Games, might be a bit inappropriate for this, since recent games haven't gone through the trials for being famous, but I'll start adding recent games anyway. And if I were to show you recent games, the one I should be starting with is definitely gonna be this game that took place in June last year as the first game of the 79th KIOU title match, and were played between these two top-flight players, Yoshiharu HABU, the challenger, and Yasumitsu SATOU, the defending KIOU. And to explain why this should be the one, I'm gonna have to talk about a book that was published lately in Japan. Here's a photo of the book that I found actually on the author's blog. Here, its title is "Watching Shogi from Silicon Valley: Yoshiharu HABU and Modern Shogi." The gentleman on the left is the author of this book. His name is Mochio Umeda. I hear that he's the president of an IT consulting company in Silicon Valley, and he's a big fan of Shogi. And on the right, you'll see a photo of HABU. The book carries a talk between them in the last chapter, by the way. Alright, so now, what does this book has to do with this game? Well, Umeda took charge of writing a game report of it on the internet at the time it was played, almost in real time. And that report is included in this book. Now, in the description field of this video, I've put a link to a website where you can read the content of this book. Now, what I'd like you to do here is I want you to watch this video first, where I'll show you all the moves that were played and give you simple explanations for them. And then after that, I want you to click on that link and check out Umeda's web report, where you can see something I could not convey through this video by only showing the moves, something that can be conveyed only by someone who were really near to the players when they played it, such as how their face expressions turned and how they acted on each move, how long they thought for each move, and what they said in the post-game discussion and so on. And the book also contains kind of his essay, and there he writes about how Shogi is not only about being strong or finding correct moves. He says Shogi is something you can just watch to enjoy and be fan of, just like other sports such as baseball and football are. So I'm sure you're gonna see what he means if you read that game report. Alright, now I've talked too much, so let's go ahead and see the moves. Okay, so here black is HABU, and the opening was basically this white's one move lost bishop exchange. One of pretty popular strategies these days. HABU advances his right silver. This strategy is called rapid advancing silver. Okay, HABU attacks as always here. Pawn to 3e, pawn takes, and 0 recaptures, pawn 8e, and of course, and HABU goes ahead for the second file. Now here SATOU recaptures it by the pawn, and here normally of course black can take the pawn, making a silver exchange here, like this, but HABU didn't do that. He dropped a pawn to 3d, kicking out the silver from that square, so silver to 2b, and then he took the pawn with the rook. Well, but here SATOU has a really interesting move. It's pawn drop to 2e. Well, what it means here is if black leaves it that way, white can then drop his bishop to, for instance, here, making powerful attack to the gold, also threatening to make a powerful horse. And well, he also has an option of dropping it to here, I think. But anyway, it's unacceptable for HABU, so he'll just take the pawn by the rook, so rook to 2e. But well, the meaning of that pawn sack is this move, bishop to 3f, forking the rook and the pawn, so rook runs, so if I can make a horse to 4g. HABU drops the bishop to 3h, trying to remove the horse out of the board, but horse runs to 1d and pawn to 1f, putting the pressure to the horse. Now Sierra advances to 4e. Well, White is threatening to move his horse to here, 3f, attacking the rook. And actually, this position had once taken place before this game, and in that game, Black just pushed this pawn, and the game proceeded like horse to 3f, rook recaptures, and silver recaptures. But in this game, HABU didn't play pawn to 1e. He played bishop to 2g, trying to protect the 3f square. Now we're seeing this position first time in the history. Now SATOU played pawn to 3f, obviously threatening to drop another pawn to 2e in the next move, which actually captures the rook. So HABU will play pawn to 1e, attacking the horse and simultaneously making an escaping square for the rook. Now SATOU ignores that attack and drops a pawn to 2e, so rook runs and then horse runs. Pawn 2d, horse runs again. Right now it's pretty difficult to choose a move here. Well, I think knight to 3g might be a bit interesting. He can't take it. The Sierra will fall, but maybe the Sierra can simply run to 3d, taking a pawn. So this knight leap doesn't work, I think. And the move that HABU played is pretty interesting too. He moved to Sierra on the left to 7g, calmly reinforcing his castle. And then SATOU 2 reinforces his king, king to 4b, king 7i, HABU keeps castling, gold 5b. We're seeing a short armistice. Now Black's bishop comes over to 3h, Silver takes a pawn. Now the rook can take this pawn, Silver goes back to 4e, and rook moves over to 6f, attacking the pawn. Silver goes back, knight develops, pawn 3d, Silver goes back to 4f. Well, this is a really difficult game. Now it's a bit slow game again. Silver to 3c. Now the rook takes the pawn. Silver goes back. And rook retreats to 6e. Well, he can take this pawn in the next move. So Silver defends there by taking the pawn on 2d. Now Silver advances to 5e. Rook flows to 8d. And that Silver goes to this side to 6f. Backward, approaching nearer to the king, and also making the option of attacking the rook. So pawn to 7d, preventing that attack, but HABU goes ahead with pawn to 7e. But pawn to 6d, rook 4e, knight 3c attacking the rook, rook goes back, 0 to 3e. Right now HABU tries to make a knight exchange by knight to 4e, SATOU accepts it, so rook recaptures, 0 to 3f, attacking the rook. But you see, this Silver lost control of this 2d square, so actually this knight drop can occur anytime. It's really exciting, but White goes for the rook anyway. So the rook has to run for now, but pawn 5d, still attacking the rook. Rook runs to 5f, attacking the Silver. Well, I think White has an option of dropping the knight to here, attacking the rook and defending the Silver, but he didn't do that. He promoted his Silver to 3g, attacking the bishop. HABU ignores it and drops his knight to 2d. Yeah, he makes that fork. Horse runs, knight takes the gold by checking, king recaptures, then HABU moves the bishop to I, running from the Silver. But SATOU makes an interesting move. Knight drop to 2g, simply attacking lance. A real simple move, but actually this attack is really powerful. And HABU moved the lance to 1f, running from knight's attack. Well, in the post-game discussion, they figured out rook to 1f might have been better. Then they can take the lance. So Black and calmly moves his bishop to here, and this rook's still attacking this knight. So this was another option, but anyway, HABU played lance to 1f. So this knight simply promotes to 1i, attacking the bishop, and you see the bishop has nowhere to go. The 5f square is unavailable to go, so HABU gives up the bishop, but he moves it to 3h, trying to exchange for a silver. But SATOU doesn't simply take it, he just calmly moves his promoted knight to 1h. A really good idea. He doesn't have to take the bishop now, he can take it anyway, so he'd rather try to use his playing piece more effectively. Right now HABU played pawn to 7d, rook recaptures, and then rook to 4f, making this discovery attack by the bishop, so he's telling SATOU to take the bishop now. SATOU takes it, gold recaptures, now horse to 2d, attacking the rook, rook runs to here. He can take this pawn in the next move, but here comes a really interesting move, pawn to 6e. Well, if he takes with the rook, I think knight can come over to 3c, 7c, attacking and covering these two squares. And well, if taken with silver, I'm not sure. Maybe then he can just run. You know, the rook can't take this pawn anymore. So a really interesting pawn push. But now HABU makes a between move, pawn to 3c, a mysterious drop. It's difficult to choose which piece to capture it with. He took it with a horse. Now rook takes the pawn, so knight leaps over to 7c. Rook goes back to 2e. Well, he can take this pawn because the horse has moved to 3c by that between move. Really interesting. But pawn to 2d, rook 2g. But you see now the silver on 6f is in trouble because white drops a pawn to 6e and it's captured. HABU dropped the silver to 8c, attacking the rook. Well, if he runs, I don't know, black silver can run to 7e, attacking the rook, but he loses another silver. Maybe he's going for this pawn drop. I'm not sure, but SATOU just ignored this attack on the rook, and he goes ahead taking the silver. Really exciting. So silver takes the rook, promote, but SATOU even ignores that too and promotes his pawn to 6g. Now HABU ignores that too and goes ahead taking the silver. Well, if I can take this gold, and after king recaptures, maybe this fork can take place, and he's gonna lose this rook, and it's a disaster. So he just recaptured that promoted pawn by the gold. So now SATOU calmly recaptured that silver to 7d. Right now, if we look at the material balance here, black has 2 rooks, white has 2 bishops, 4 metal pieces, 4 knights and lances for each player. So material balance is almost equal, but you see HABU's king is in a really vulnerable position. You see it's open to white's many kinds of attack, knight leap maybe, knight drop maybe. This horse is powerful, pawn drop, oh, even a bishop drop is here. And on the other hand, white's king is safe, this horse is powerful, black's rook is not really mobile. So actually, this is the position where HABU made a resignation. SATOU took this game by 114 moves. Okay, so now it's gonna be time for you to go to that link, but before that, I'll have to talk about this. In that link you're gonna see an English translated version of the book, of course, otherwise I wouldn't present it here. But why is there an English version so soon after the book was published in Japan? Well, the thing is, in his essay, Umeda also writes about his vision. He says it's not only his vision, but also HABU's vision, but vision of how Shogi world can change and how it can be developed and promoted in this new era of big bang of information technology, with knowledge sharing concept and so on, and he has even proved that himself by declaring on his website that he would give unconditional permission for anyone to make a translated version of his book into any language and to open that to the public. And shortly after that, these several guys from somewhere got together through the internet. They started a project of translating that book into English by splitting the work. I don't know what sort of people these guys are, but I'm sure they're big fans of Umeda-san, and I hear that they're pretty young. Most of them don't even have any experience in translation works. Some of them didn't even know about shogi at all. But the fact is, they translated all the book in less than a week. It's amazing. And that's exactly what you can read from that link I'm giving you here. So now go there and check it out. And I'll be pretty much looking forward to your comments on this. Maybe you can also leave comments to those guys in translation project, or even to the author, Umeda-san, if you can find any means to contact them in those websites. Okay, so thanks for watching and have a nice day. See you soon. Goodbye.